My mum was diagnosed with esophageal cancer back in February last year, and quite quickly she decided that she wanted to kind of make sure that she had her house in order, and that her last year was as positive as it could be. When she started to her needs started to increase and her mobility was worse and she was getting weaker because she couldn't really eat much. The hospice OT and physio came round and did a home assessment, and they said that they'd do a referral to the wheelchair service so that we could still get her out and about. And they said, oh, it can take a couple of weeks. Well, we were absolutely amazed when literally just a few days later we got a call saying wheelchair's coming tomorrow. He got the wheelchair out, and honestly, I think it was brand spanking new. It was amazing. We had hired one to take her to the cinema, which was just so difficult to use it. But the one that the wheelchair service provided was in another league. Um, Really fantastic, really robust, really comfortable, easy to fold up and put in the car. Um, and the chap that delivered it was friendly and helpful, and showed me everything. Said, any problems, here's our number, just give us a call. Even provided her with a brand new pressure relieving cushion for sitting in the wheelchair, which was really comfortable for her. Initially, I was thinking that the wheelchair would just be useful if we were bringing her home here, or maybe to get her to appointments. But actually, what it really meant was freedom for her, and the opportunity for her to achieve some things that she'd wanted to do for years but had never got round to. And now, of course, the clock was ticking big time and it was now or never. But what I hadn't realised until after she actually died was that that enabled us to make positive memories that actually are helping us now in our bereavement. There were two really big things that just could not have happened without that wheelchair. And one was that she wanted to visit the chateau at Fontainebleau, south of Paris. And she'd never got round to it. And she suddenly said, I want to go to Fontainebleau. So my husband, bless him, found a ferry booking, and she was sitting in the back of the car clapping. It was amazing. She was so excited. She kept saying, "I can't believe we're doing this. I can't believe we're doing this. Are we mad? Are we mad?" And she just absolutely loved it. We literally drove 6 hours down to Paris, stayed in a hotel. The next morning, went to the chateau, and then we got back in the car, drove 6 hours back to Cherbourg, and had a home in bed by 11 o'clock, with the biggest grin you've ever seen on her face. It was just wonderful. Literally 2 weeks before she went into the hospice, we said, Swimming? How are we going to get you swimming?" And so I looked into it, and we all went swimming with her. It was just wonderful. My brother and I thought we'd lost her for a minute. She disappeared, and we thought she was under the water, and we panicked and then looked round, and she was literally floating on her back like a star. But she just looked so happy and so pleased with herself. And she was phoning her friends actually saying, "I've just been swimming." They thought she was confused. That was her last wish, and because of the wheelchair, we were able to make my mum's wishes come true. Um, but it wasn't, as I said, it wasn't till after she died that I realised that it was us as a family who had benefited, because we've got these lovely memories to reflect back on. We're able to look back and think, yeah, we did those things with her. We laughed. We enjoyed her company and she enjoyed ours, and she did things she wanted to do. And that is just so important now when now she's gone. When I phoned to say that she died and how did I get it back to them, the lady I spoke to was so kind, and I didn't feel like she didn't make me feel that I had to rush or anything. She just let me talk to her and said all the right things. No, I literally can't think of anything that they didn't do that they could have done or could have done differently. They were, 5-star, brilliant. Thank you. It's such a little word, isn't it? But there's so much behind that. Thank you. And thanks for the memories.